Back in Battlefield 2042, taking a look at the last update of 2020. They've been just pumping these updates out for the game, changing a lot of things, and I think hitting a lot of player requests as fast as they possibly can. But yeah, they'll be taking a holiday break, and we'll be going over the patch notes, the updates, what's been changed here in a sec. But I just wanted to kind of get the context out. Last update before the holidays, and then they're going to come back in and start working on Season 1 content for the game. So that's definitely something a little bit intriguing gameplay-wise. So this update is now live. It's available for everyone. It is update 3.1. So they've adjusted a lot of things in the past. We'll just kind of briefly go over that kind of stuff in case you've been, out of the Battlefield action for like a week or two. But the hovercraft's been nerfed a lot. They've added new indicators to be like, hey, somebody needs a revive. Hey, somebody that is reviving is near you. And, stuff like that has been changed, or, well, it's some of the bigger changes that we've seen gameplay-wise. And also, fixing the crashes if you're on the Series X, the console crashes, dashboard crashes seem to be largely fixed now. So there are improvements to bullet hit registration, consistency in this one, in this update even further past what the others had, the previous updates. Balance changes for bullet dispersion and recoil. Further balance changes to ground vehicles, 30mm, 40mm, and 57mm cannons in order to reduce their effectiveness against infantry, because a lot of people are complaining about the vehicles, or have been. And fix for a rare bug where a player could appear invisible to enemies. That's kind of a little bit comical. Oh, look, Clippy is ready to go to action. Improvements to the menu flow for Xbox players to make it easier to opt out of crossplay. So if you don't want to play with others and you're on the Xbox, now it's a lot easier to opt out of crossplay. If you don't want to experience the game in large-scale action with others, you now have a very easier way of doing so instead of the convoluted system-level setup. So I'm sure some fans will love that. Multiple audio improvements to enhance your overall sound experience. Focus on clarity, distance, and directional perception. So we talked about the season update being the last one. So players that are not the party leader can now cancel while waiting in a queue. Crossplay can now be enabled/disabled in the option menus on the Xbox. So I think I don't know if we could actually change that from here. I think we gotta, I think we actually got to be in the menu to kind of do that sort of thing. Yeah, I believe we actually have to be in the menu. But you can change, all that kind of stats from there. They have your sort settings will now be correctly remembered when refreshing the Battlefield Portal server browser. That's nice to have. They have fixed an issue where loadouts would sometimes be empty on spawn screen after joining a server, preventing weapon selection. Oh, I'm so thankful they fixed that. That kept resetting all of my class, customization. Such an annoyance. Made improvements to ensure aim assist is more consistent during console gameplay. That's definitely something we've been noticing as a little easier to aim and stuff. A lot of people are having problems with that. Ranger's effective combat range and overall health has been decreased. Boo! They didn't even, okay, I'll be honest. The Rangers really didn't do that much killing. And they weren't really that tough either. Anyways, audio made various tweaks to the overall audio experience to improve clarity, distance, and directional perception, which we mentioned. This is just the audio section. Fixed an issue where soldiers would not always play indoor-specific footsteps. So that's kind of funny. Weapons removed bounce from under-barrel grenades when firing at short distances. 40mm AP grenades now properly damaged vehicles. Fix some weapons displaying wrong ammo counts for specific magazines. DXR1 and NTW 50 bolt action rifles reload animation is increased by 0.2 seconds. Adjusted dispersion values for most weapons, which results in faster dispersion decrease when tapping fire or doing short bursts. Adjusted dispersion increases for most weapons and now takes slightly longer for weapons to become overly inaccurate in a sustained fire. Adjusted the recoil values to prevent over-aggressive recoil jumps from the AK-24, LCMG, the PKP-BP, oh geez, that's a tank, the SFAR-M GL, just trying to go revive those guys, but whatever, and the PP-29. So those are the adjustments for those particular guns there. Oh wow, yeah, they're pushing. Improved hipfire accuracy for all SMGs to make them better stand out from other automatic weapon archetypes. LMG dispersion and recoil lowered to improve performance in sustained fire. Additional improvements to recoil control for all weapons, more specifically automatic weapons. Increased close range damage and consistency of the MCS 880 when using buckshot shell or flechette shells. I'm being revived. Fixed a bug that caused bullets to be fired from below the player's aims for the SFAR MGL and the K30. Get some revives going here. Vehicles fixed a bug where vehicle weapons sometimes did not deal direct damage on a direct hit. Well, blast damage on a direct hit. We're reducing the ground vehicle 30mm cannon effectiveness versus infantry. It now overheats faster, has slightly reduced rate of fire and blast damage, and increased fall-off damage and a distance. So rate of fire is now 350 to 330. Heat per bullet, 0.13 to 0.14. It's gonna give this guy a bit of a revive. Heat drop per second, 0.5 to 0.0475. Blast damage 20 to 18. LCA hovercraft, 40mm GPL grenade launcher. Blast damage lowered from 55 to 35. And they just keep coming after my hovercraft. They won't stop until that thing is completely nerfed. I was like right here to revive you. Whatever. The 40mm utility pod upwards fire angle is now easier to use. The EBA Wildcat 57mm cannon, remove dispersion, ammo 12 to 18, impact damage 85 to 75, blast damage 70 to 35. Oof. Makes sense, that one was a little ridiculous. Gadgets, the frag grenade, increase the time to detonate a frag grenade from 1.1 seconds to 1.4 seconds after first bounce on a hard collision. Increase damage of frag grenades across modes, deal 120 damage, and guarantee a kill on armored players too. Oh, that's interesting. Reduced frag. Oh, jeez. Reduced frag and incendiary max ammo count from 2 to 1. Aw. Proc sensor lowered spawning radius from 30 to 20 meters. Lowered uptime from 30 seconds to 14 seconds. Lowered amount of proc sensor a player can carry and deploy from 2 to 1. Battlefield hazard zone. Fixed an issue that caused the roaming occupying forces latch the 4 recon to spawn at the wrong times, were it not at all. That's helpful. Breakthrough adjustments. Kaleidoscope. Rooftop capture objective has been moved. There are now 2 capture objective at the bottom in BT large and 1 at the bottom in BT small. Orbital. Rooftop capture objective has been removed. There's now a single capture objective at the bottom in BT large and BT small. Hourglass. Rooftop capture objective has been removed. There's now a single objective capture at the bottom of BT large and BT small. Also fixed an issue where players were spawning out of bounds. So that basically means, if you play Breakthrough like I do, that the impossible to attack positions where players were basically, you know, having to like siege rooftops of skyscrapers, which was like impossible, has now been fixed. So players, you know, well, I guess the defense isn't just given a free win basically on all those scenarios. Because I think for Orbital in specific context, I don't believe I've ever seen, like maybe like day 1 I saw it once, but you know, I never see anybody take that first spot in Orbital. It just never happens. So that's a big game changer. I think it really does change Breakthrough quite a bit. I think for the better, in my opinion, on that one. Hovercraft. Soldier. Improvements on backpedaling into objects when being in the prone position. Fixed a rare issue where players could turn invisible when spawning on a full/destroyed vehicle. So those are the updates that have been added to the game as of this last 3.1 update. You know, it's kind of cool that they're making all of these fixes, because they've, like I said before, they've been just, you know, adjusting a ton of things. I think they're listening to player feedback pretty fast and pretty intensely and getting things adjusted quickly. So yeah, it should be really interesting to see what they do with the first seasonal update. You know, if you enjoyed kind of listening to the patch notes in this particular way, you know, let me know. Liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well. And of course, we'll be back for more Battlefield 2042 content in the future, since I've been doing numerous live streams of the game and having a lot of fun with it personally. You know, doing other videos of it, got a review of it on the Series X, and yeah, just kind of excited to see where they go with this one, what happens, what's going to be new in the future. It's kind of neat. Honestly, I'm shocked, genuinely shocked, that they have been this responsive and quick for updates. It almost feels like if they would have waited just a little bit more, we could have had a much smoother launch. At least, that's what I think about this one. But, you know, we got what we got, and it will be interesting to see the long-term opinion of the game of people, because I've seen a lot of, well, not the best of thoughts, but also some people having a good time, which I think is cool. Like, I mean, I myself have been enjoying it. So it should be neat to see. Oh, wow, that guy's doing some intense crowd shooting there. That's kind of lame on that person, gotta say. So it should be neat to see what happens. I was kind of expecting a bigger list this time of changes, considering if you put the patch notes last time. Woo! That was chunky. Yeah, that one was like a huge page. But seriously, if you enjoyed the patch note delivery, let me know, and we'll look at doing additional patch note jump-ins and checks like this in the future, because it is, man, it's a different sort of video to do, and I think it's pretty easy going. And yet again, I'll see you for the next season of Battlefield. I mean, even regardless outside of that, you'll find streams and whatnot here, like I was mentioning, of the action going on.